February 15th, 2026. The Ford Center at the Star, Frisco, Texas. The crowd is deafening, on their feet, watching something that shouldn't be possible. Ben Shelton is staring down 3 championship points against Taylor Fritz, the top seed, the betting favorite, the player who should be hoisting this trophy. 1 point away, then another, and somehow, impossibly, Shelton saves them all. Not just saves them, destroys them with winners that make the crowd erupt. Then he breaks Fritz's serve, holds his own, and captures his 4th ATP title with a comeback so audacious it feels scripted. But here's what nobody in that arena knows. The tennis legends watching this match, former champions, Hall of Famers, the sport's immortals, aren't surprised. Not even a little. Because they've been saying the same thing for 2 years now, and this Dallas miracle just confirmed what they already knew. Ben Shelton isn't just America's best hope for tennis greatness. He's inevitable. At 23 years old, with a serve that terrifies opponents and a competitive spirit that refuses to accept defeat, Shelton represents something American tennis hasn't had in decades. A player with both the weapons and the mentality to dominate the sport's elite for the next decade. But what do the legends actually see? What makes them so certain that this wild-haired, fist-pumping, chest-thumping kid from Florida is destined for tennis immortality? And why do they believe his best tennis is still years away? This is why tennis legends are unanimous. Ben Shelton is the real deal. And it starts with a man who knows something about being America's next great hope. Andy Roddick, the serve whisperer. 30 Grand Slam finals appearances, 1 US Open title, a career built on the most dominant serve American tennis has ever produced. Until now. Andy Roddick watches Ben Shelton and sees something he never thought he'd witness. A serve bigger than his own. "I maxed out at 155 miles per hour, Roddick said during his podcast after watching Shelton's Dallas semifinal against Shapovalov. Ben's hit 156, 157, and he's still learning how to use it. That last part is crucial. Roddick's serve was his finished product by age 23. Shelton's serve is still evolving, still improving, still terrifying returners who thought they'd seen everything. The Dallas final against Fritz proved Roddick's point perfectly. Shelton served his way out of 3 championship points, not with lucky errors from Fritz, but with unreturnable bombs that gave Fritz 0 chance. That's not just power, Roddick explained. That's placement under maximum pressure. That's championship-level serving, and he's doing it at 23. But Roddick sees more than just the serve. He sees the complete package developing. "I was one-dimensional," Roddick admitted with characteristic honesty. "Huge serve, decent forehand, everything else was just trying not to lose points. Ben, his forehand is massive. His movement is elite. His return is already better than mine ever was. He's got the serve as a weapon, not a crutch." The comparison to his own career is revealing. Roddick reached a US Open final at 21 and won at 21. Shelton reached a US Open semifinal at 21. Both players burst onto the scene with fearless tennis and enormous serves. But Roddick sees the differences as more important than the similarities. "I peaked early because I didn't have other weapons to develop," Roddick explained. Ben is nowhere near his peak. His forehand will get heavier. His backhand will get more consistent. His net game will improve. And that serve? It's only getting better. Roddick pointed to Shelton's recent Australian Open quarterfinal run, where the young American pushed Novak Djokovic to the brink before falling in 4 tight sets. "That match showed me everything. He's already competitive with the best player in history. Give him 2 more years of development, and he'll be beating guys like that regularly." The Dallas title confirmed Roddick's optimism. Shelton won 4 consecutive matches in 3 sets, each one a test of mental fortitude, each one requiring him to find solutions under pressure. "That's not lucky," Roddick insisted. "That's a champion learning how to win ugly, learning how to survive when your A-game isn't there. I didn't learn that until 25. Ben's learning it at 23. Roddick's final prediction was bold. Ben will win multiple Grand Slams. Plural, not singular. He'll be world number 1. And when American tennis needs a champion in 5 years, he'll be that champion. But if Roddick saw the weapons, the next legend saw something deeper. John McEnroe, the competitor's fire. 7 Grand Slam titles built on passion, intensity, and an absolute refusal to lose. John McEnroe revolutionized tennis by showing that champions could be emotional, fierce, and undeniably themselves. When McEnroe watches Ben Shelton, he sees a kindred spirit, and it makes him smile. "The kid plays with his heart on his sleeve," McEnroe said during US Open commentary after Shelton's semifinal run in 2023. "He celebrates every big point like he just won Wimbledon. That's not immaturity. That's authenticity." The Dallas final provided the perfect showcase for what McEnroe loves about Shelton's game. Down a set facing a superior opponent, Shelton didn't retreat into safe tennis. He attacked harder, he served bigger, he celebrated louder. "Watch him after he saves those 3 match points," McEnroe instructed. He's screaming, pumping his fist, feeding off the crowd. That's a player who understands that tennis is also entertainment, also connection, also joy. McEnroe sees Shelton as the antidote to what he calls robotic tennis, the emotionless, mechanical approach that dominates the modern game. "We've got plenty of players who hit the ball perfectly and show zero personality," McEnroe argued. "Ben gives us fireworks. He makes tennis exciting again." But McEnroe's praise goes beyond entertainment value. He believes Shelton's emotional approach actually makes him more dangerous, not less. "I fed off crowd energy," McEnroe explained. "The louder they got, the better I played. Ben does the same thing. That Dallas crowd was insane, and he channeled every decibel into those final games." The comparison extends to competitive fire. McEnroe was famous, or infamous, for never accepting defeat, for fighting every point like it was match point, for believing he could win from any position. Shelton has that same mentality. The statistics from Dallas prove it. He won his last 4 matches in 3 sets, each time finding a way to turn momentum when it seemed lost. "That's not luck or talent," McEnroe insisted. "That's a competitor who believes he's going to win, even when the scoreboard says he shouldn't." McEnroe pointed to a specific moment in the Dallas final. Shelton facing his first championship point at 4-5, 30-40 in the 3rd set. Most players tighten up, play safe, hope the opponent misses. Shelton crushed a 140 miles per hour serve down the tee that Fritz couldn't touch. "That's championship DNA," McEnroe said with evident admiration. "The moment got bigger, so he played bigger. Not many 23-year-olds have that in them." McEnroe's prediction? Ben will win multiple majors because he wants it more than other guys. Not just wants to win, wants to compete, wants to fight, wants to prove himself. That hunger is what separates champions from very good players. Pete Sampras, the quiet confidence. 14 Grand Slam titles, 7 Wimbledons. A career built on quiet excellence and ruthless efficiency. Pete Sampras didn't need to scream or celebrate. His tennis spoke for him. But when Sampras talks about Ben Shelton, he sees something unexpected. A player whose emotional exterior hides Sampras-like inner steel. "People see the celebrations and think he's all emotion," Sampras said during a rare interview at Indian Wells. "I see the celebrations and know he's all confidence." The distinction matters. Emotional players ride waves, great when winning, lost when losing. Confident players maintain belief regardless of circumstances. Shelton's Dallas run proved Sampras's point. 4 3-set matches, multiple moments where momentum shifted against him, constant pressure. And in every moment, Shelton found a way. "That's not emotion," Sampras explained. "That's belief. He believes he's supposed to win, so he finds ways to win." Sampras sees parallels to his own career that few others recognize. Both players relied heavily on their serves as primary weapons. Both players had the ability to raise their level in crucial moments. Both players possessed almost irrational self-belief. "At 23, I knew I was going to win Grand Slams," Sampras recalled. "Not hoped, not wanted, knew." Ben has that same certainty. The comparison extends to serving under pressure. Sampras was legendary for his clutch serving in tiebreaks and big moments. Shelton is developing the same reputation. In Dallas, Shelton faced 11 breakpoints in his semifinal against Shapovalov. He saved 10 of them, often with aces or service winners. That's Sampras-level clutch serving, Pete noted. When the pressure is highest, his serve gets bigger. That's not something you can teach. But Sampras also identified areas where Shelton needs improvement. His ground strokes are good, but they need to be great, Sampras observed. Against guys like Sinner and Alcaraz, he can't rely purely on the serve. He needs weapons from the baseline too. The good news? Sampras believes those weapons are coming. Watch his forehand velocity increase every year, Sampras pointed out. Watch his backhand become more penetrating. He's adding tools constantly. By 25, he'll be the complete package. Sampras' prediction is measured but optimistic. 3 to 5 Grand Slams, multiple years in the top 5, the best American player of his generation. And if he stays healthy, maybe more. If Sampras saw the clutch gene, the next legend saw something even more important. Andre Agassi, the worker's mentality. 8 Grand Slams built on transformation, from rebellious talent to disciplined champion. Andre Agassi knows what it takes to maximize potential through relentless work. And when he watches Ben Shelton, he sees a player who's figured out the secret younger than Agassi did. Ben works his ass off, Agassi said bluntly during a coaching clinic. Nobody who hits a serve that big has any right to move as well as he does, but he's built his body to be explosive in every direction. The physical transformation is obvious. Shelton came out of college athletic, but not elite. Now, at 23, he's one of the best movers in tennis, despite being 6 feet 4 inches.
That's hours in the gym, on the track, in recovery, Agassi noted. That's a player who understands that talent alone won't cut it at the highest level.
Agassi sees Shelton's Dallas title as validation of that work ethic. 4 3-set marathons in 5 days, each match over 2 hours, each one requiring sustained physical excellence. His body held up when other guys would have broken down, Agassi observed. That's fitness, that's preparation, that's professionalism. But Agassi's highest praise is reserved for Shelton's tactical growth. Watch him 2 years ago versus now, Agassi instructed. 2 years ago, he was just bombing serves and forehands. Now he's using variety, hitting angles, constructing points. He's becoming a complete player. The Dallas final showed this evolution. Against Fritz, Shelton didn't just overpower, he outmaneuvered. Drop shots to disrupt Fritz's rhythm, slice backhands to change pace, net approaches at unexpected moments. That's tennis IQ developing in real time, Agassi said. He's learning what works against elite opponents and adding those patterns to his game. Agassi pointed to Shelton's coaching situation as a major advantage. His father, Brian Shelton, is his coach, a former ATP player who understands the tour intimately. Having your dad as coach only works if there's mutual respect and clear communication, Agassi explained. Ben has both. He trusts the process, does the work, and sees the results. The prediction from Agassi is confident. Ben will be top 5 in the world within 18 months. He'll win his first Grand Slam within 2 years. And if he stays hungry, he could win 5 or more majors. Jim Courier, the all-surface threat. 4 Grand Slam titles across 2 different surfaces. Jim Courier conquered both clay and hard courts through adaptability and relentless aggression. When Courier evaluates Ben Shelton, he sees a player who could dominate on every surface, if he makes the right improvements. Ben's already elite on hard courts, Courier said during Tennis Channel analysis. The Dallas title, the Australian Open quarterfinal, his US Open semifinal, hard courts suit his game perfectly. The serve plays biggest on hard courts, where the bounce favors power over spin. Shelton's forehand generates pace that's devastating on faster surfaces. His movement, while excellent, doesn't need to be quite as elite when points are shorter. But Courier sees potential for more. Clay is his opportunity, Courier argued. If he can develop the patience for long rallies and the creativity for high-bouncing balls, he could win Roland Garros. The challenge is mental as much as physical. Clay rewards consistency over power, patience over aggression. Shelton's natural instincts, serve big, hit big, finish fast, work against him on dirt. Watch him at the U.S. Clay Court Championship, which he won in 2024, Courier suggested. He won that tournament by learning when to attack and when to build points. That's the skill set he needs for Paris. Courier sees grass as Shelton's best surface opportunity after hard courts. Wimbledon is made for his game, Courier said emphatically. Big serve, big forehand, good net skills, athletic enough to handle low bounces. If he can develop slice and improve his volleys, he could win multiple Wimbledons.
The prediction includes a specific timeline.
U.S. Open champion by 2027, Courier stated. Wimbledon champion by 2028. And if he commits to clay court tennis, a French Open run by 2029. The confidence in Courier's voice is striking. Not could win or might win, will win. Ben has the weapons, the work ethic, the mentality, and now he's proving he has the clutch gene, Courier summarized. That's the recipe for multiple Grand Slam championships. Patrick McEnroe, the American Pipeline, former U.S. Davis Cup captain, current ESPN analyst. Patrick McEnroe has spent decades evaluating American tennis talent. He's seen promising young players come and go, watched potential fizzle and occasionally explode into greatness. His assessment of Ben Shelton, the most excited he's been about an American man since Andy Roddick. Ben is different from every American prospect we've had in 20 years, McEnroe said during ESPN's Dallas coverage. He's got the complete package: weapons, fitness, mentality, and personality. That last element matters more than casual fans realize. American tennis needs marketable stars, players who can capture public imagination and bring new fans to the sport.
Ben does that, McEnroe argued. He's relatable, authentic, exciting to watch. Kids want to be like him. That's how you grow the sport.
McEnroe pointed to Shelton's celebration after saving those 3 championship points in Dallas. The roar, the fist pumps, the pure joy. That's a clip that goes viral, that makes ESPN's top plays, that makes people who don't watch tennis pay attention. But McEnroe's enthusiasm goes beyond marketing. He sees tactical elements in Shelton's game that suggest sustained excellence. His return position has improved dramatically, McEnroe noted. He's standing further inside the baseline now, taking time away from opponents. That's a player who's constantly evolving. The Dallas title represented career milestone number 4, but McEnroe believes it's the most important one yet. Winning an ATP 500 by saving 3 match points in the final? That's the kind of victory that changes a player's self-belief permanently, McEnroe explained. He'll remember that moment for the rest of his career. McEnroe's prediction includes both individual and team success. Ben will win Davis Cup matches for the United States for the next decade, McEnroe said. He'll be the guy we lean on in crucial ties. And individually, 3+ Grand Slams, multiple years in the top 5, American number 1 for years. Mats Wilander, the champion's perspective.
7 Grand Slam titles across all surfaces. Mats Wilander won through intelligence, consistency, and an uncanny ability to solve tactical puzzles.
When the Swedish legend analyzes Ben Shelton, he sees something American tennis has been missing. A player who can beat anyone on any given day. Danger is the word Wilander uses most often.
Ben is dangerous every single week, Wilander said on Eurosport. Draw him in the first round or the final. Doesn't matter. You know you're in for a battle.
The Dallas tournament proved this point. Shelton beat multiple styles: the crafty Mannarino, the explosive Shapovalov, the consistent Fritz. Each opponent presented different challenges, and Shelton found different solutions. That's what champions do, Wilander observed. They adjust, adapt, overcome. Ben's already doing that at 23. Wilander sees Shelton as particularly dangerous in best-of-5 set matches. His fitness is elite, his serve doesn't break down, and his mental strength grows as matches extend, Wilander analyzed. That's the perfect recipe for Grand Slam success. The 2025 Australian Open quarterfinal against Djokovic showed this. Shelton pushed the champion to 4 sets, was competitive in each one, and proved he belongs among the elite. That match announced him, Wilander said, not as a prospect or a hope, as a legitimate Grand Slam threat right now. Wilander's only concern is Shelton's backhand consistency. Against elite players who can expose his backhand repeatedly, he needs more reliability from that wing, Wilander noted. But that's his only weakness, and it's improving every month. The prediction from Wilander is specific. First Grand Slam by 2027, world number 1 by 2028, multiple majors before he turns 30. So, why are tennis legends so unanimous about Ben Shelton? Because they see something rare. A player who combines devastating weapons with competitive fire, work ethic with authenticity, power with improving tactical sophistication. That Dallas title, saving 3 championship points to defeat a top 10 opponent in a final, is the kind of victory that separates good players from great ones. It's the moment Shelton proved he doesn't just have the tools for greatness. He has the mentality. The serve is already elite, the forehand is already dangerous, the movement is already excellent, the competitive spirit is already championship level. And he's only 23. Most Grand Slam champions don't win their first major until 24 or 25. Federer was 22, Nadal was 19, Djokovic was 20, Sampras was 19. Shelton is tracking right alongside the legends' timelines. And unlike many young prospects who peak early, Shelton appears to be on an upward trajectory, adding skills, improving weaknesses, learning from every experience. The legends see in Ben Shelton what American tennis hasn't had since Sampras and Agassi. A player who can win multiple Grand Slams, can be number 1 in the world, can dominate the sport's elite for years. Not a flash in the pan, not a one-slam wonder. A legitimate, sustained champion. That Dallas victory, the way he saved those 3 match points with fearless, aggressive tennis, is the moment the legends point to as proof. Not of what Shelton is, but of what he's becoming. And what he's becoming is inevitable. America's next great tennis champion. The only question now isn't if Ben Shelton will win Grand Slams. It's how many.